Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Today we got some information on the upcoming patch 7, which as of right now is not expected to arrive until September. Which means you should go touch grass and enjoy the summer, and then just come back fired up and motivated in September. Now, as a quick reminder, as I did go over this in a previous video, patch 7 is going to bring with it official mod support, of which I'll greatly expand on here momentarily. We're getting improved expanded evil endings, which also come with some new music, plenty of bug stability, performance fixes, and things of that nature, of course. And although these two things in particular might not be with patch 7 specifically, we do have further confirmation that Larian is continuing to work on crossplay, so PC, Xbox, PlayStation players, we can all play together as a big ol' happy family. No more console wars, right guys? And Larian is still also working on that photo mode. We just don't know if those two will be in patch 7 specifically. But the big news today, of course, is community update number 27, which is all about official modding support. And in the introduction, Larian talks a little bit about some other things, but I'm gonna just basically read this entire thing to you guys. But first, I want to get this out of the way. Console players, yes, you will be able to play these mods from the mod toolkit. You just won't have access to the official modding tools, but yes, you'll be able to browse, install, and play all of these mods. So I'm excited for you guys. And also keep in mind that this official modding toolkit should make it much more accessible and beginner friendly for everyone to consider creating mods now. So you might be interested in this. All right, let's let my really hard work begin here as I just literally read the patch notes to you guys and film myself doing it. Let's get at it. Okay. All right. Coming to this September, the next major update for Baldur's Gate 3 will also introduce an officially sanctioned toolkit for giving Lae'zel a mullet. I mean, sure, go for it. You only live once. Obviously, for those of you guys that don't understand mods, you might be a little bit confused here, but Larian's just kind of giving ideas as to things you can do with the official mod toolkit. You can give Lae'zel a mullet, like a character appearance change. As we mentioned in our last community update, we want you to have the opportunity to test out patch 7 in the Baldur's Gate 3 toolkit so you can share your feedback with us before it goes live. Patch 7 testing is now being split into a two-phase process, which begins with closely working with a small team of mod authors from the community. This is our closed alpha stage, where they'll be able to help us further develop the modding tools and have a go at bringing their existing mods to life using our Baldur's Gate 3 toolkit. So all those huge mods that you see on Nexus, probably the really popular ones, etc. I'm assuming that Larian's working with probably many of those mod authors to make sure that those mods make their way to the BG3 toolkit, of course. The closed alpha is set to kick off today, June 3rd, and we'll be inviting more mod authors to take part over time. Come July, we'll be opening registration for a further closed beta capped at roughly 1,000 players that anyone on PC can go ahead and sign up for, and we want you to test the mods created during the alpha. With the intention of working through your feedback throughout the summer, it'll give us time to polish off patch 7, ready for release in September. In the meantime, we'll still have plenty coming your way, including some anniversary extravagance. So that's kind of like new stuff. Not exactly sure what Larian has up their sleeve, but it's exciting. I'm sure they're going to have some fun little things for us in this patch outside of what we already know as we look back on the months since release. We're also still pressing on with the development of an in-game photo mode, crossplay, and more fixes that will arrive later down the line. And then Larian gives you a link to their previous update. I'll also leave a link to my previous video, which goes over what they talked about is coming with patch 7 and community update number 26. But now let's get into the official modding FAQ. Whether you're a seasoned modder excited to continue developing mods for Baldur's Gate 3, or you're new to the scene and want to try your hand at bringing your ideas to life, our new modding pipeline aims to provide a convenient way for players and creators alike to access and manage mods across all platforms Baldur's Gate 3 is released on, with improved compatibility, tools, and documentation. The exciting part of that for myself, coming from someone who's never created a mod before, it seems like this toolkit's going to make it much more beginner friendly, less overwhelming, less intimidating to create some mods for Baldur's Gate 3. So I might have to try my hand at it and see where it takes me, and hopefully some of you guys do as well. And speaking of those who may be noobs to the modding world, well, Larian has a little section for us. First things first, what is a mod? Whether you're turning fireballs pink, boosting the attack damage of a hand-wielded sausage, or bestowing all citizens of Faerun with a personal handgun, modding lets you alter a game to change how it looks or behaves. Damn, I'm gonna have to try that one. With the official Baldur's Gate 3 modding tools, you'll have what you need to add new weapons, armor, create new classes and subclasses, design new powerful spells, customize your game dice skins, and share your mods with a community of creators. I'm really excited to see the new classes and subclasses, of course. But before we get too into the weeds here, because some of you guys aren't going to be interested in everything in this particular article, you might not care that much. I do want to read the final section here, and then we'll get into everything else for people that want to stick around. What will the Baldur's Gate 3 toolkit consist of? Beyond game code architecture for managing mods, we'll release a subset of our internal development tools as part of the Baldur's Gate 3 toolkit. This will let you access the editor to create your own mods, upload mods directly to mod.io servers, load levels read-only to look at all the local entities as well as the setup and test your mods in-game while creating them. Get access to our internal editors for supported asset types such as textures and visual models, allowing you to override them directly in your mod through the developer interface. Publish your mod via the editor where it will be moderated and made visible in the in-game browser, or pack your mod locally to upload to a third-party site. So the in-game browser here is really nice. This is going to be very, very convenient for people to not only create mods, but also, of course, download mods. You don't got to go to a third-party site and do all this weird stuff in the back-end files. Mod UIs through file editing will provide documentation that will explain how our internals are set up to solve mod loading compatibility issues. And within Baldur's Gate 3 itself, you'll be able to download and manage your mods directly, manage multiplayer and save game files through a verification UI. And then I'm also going to touch on this section before we go back up. What's included as part of mod.io? Mod.io provides moderation tools that allow us to curate mods for console, as well as offers a hosting and distribution solution for your mods, which you'll be able to access through mod.io or through our website. You'll also be able to subscribe or unsubscribe from mods in-game with our mod browser. You'll need a mod.io account to manage and create your mods, where you'll be able to upload, tag them, as well as add screenshots, descriptions, and other stuff. And then Larian actually has a even larger FAQ here on their Discord server. I'll leave a link to this community update down below so you can find that Discord link. But let's go back up to the top and now get into the weeds of everything. What does official mod support mean as opposed to mods I'm using right now? Updates to Baldur's Gate 3 as well as conflicts between third-party mods can cause issues with game stability and prevent mods from working correctly. That's where official mod support comes in. We'll never prevent modding outside of our own official pipeline, but implementing our own will improve compatibility and give us the opportunity to ensure they'll work wherever you're playing Baldur's Gate 3. It'll also ensure a smoother experience at the cost of more script-focused modding, which can still be done outside of our pipeline. You'll therefore have two choices for modding Baldur's Gate 3, but we'll only be able to officially support mods through mod.io. So official modding is of course going to be more restrictive in what you're able to do, but you can still create mods the way you were doing it before, so we're not really losing anything here. Mod.io allows us to bring modding support to all platforms and provides the necessary infrastructure to allow you to download mods on both PC and console, manage uploaded mods, host guides, and provide a level of content moderation keep the community safe. So yeah, right there, the level of content moderation to keep the community safe is of course going to be highly subjective as to what people think's okay and what's not okay, etc. But if you have a mod idea that you can't do, or it's just not able to be hosted on this particular mod.io, you can still create mods outside of this, but then of course you're at the whim of like Nexus mods, etc. and those platforms and what they think is okay. Will the support be rolled out in phases? We're currently rolling out invites for the BG3 toolkit on Steam to popular mod authors so they can explore the new modding environment, view the tools, and get familiar with the process of converting their mods and uploading them to the platform, or even trying to create new ones. At this early stage, participating mod authors will be able to provide us with direct feedback as we continue our internal development and testing. They'll be using a live development environment, which means they'll also get access to new features as they continue to be developed ahead of full release. Which platforms will be able to use and install mods? Releasing first on PC, we expect to roll out the support to the wider community in various platforms shortly after, including for Mac players as well as PlayStation and Xbox consoles. So I actually didn't say this. I should have said this in the intro to the video when I mentioned this, but yeah, it seems like it's going to be a little bit later for console players. Larian is saying shortly after, but I guess you never know. Which platforms will be able to use the modding tools to create new mods? Limitations in place on some platforms mean that while you'll be able to browse, install, and use player-created mods, the official modding tools themselves will not be available to those playing on console like we talked about earlier. PC players will have access to the BG3 toolkit to create their own mods. An internal curation process will determine which of these mods will become available for those on console. How are mods curated for PC and console? On PC, general stability in terms of service checks will be carried out before a mod becomes available in the game's browser. On console, an additional curation process confirms which of these PC mods become available for cross-platform support. While not all PC mods will become available for console, we'll be sure to publish guidelines to help you understand what kind of content will pass our necessary checks without blocking any unsupported creative mods on PC, so that we can continue supporting the modding community both inside and outside of our official pipeline. Further down, what mods won't be available through mod.io. BG3, as a D&D game licensed by our partners, has certain guidelines in place to ensure the integrity of the game's universe. That said, we want to support as much creative freedom as possible. Our goal with mod.io and our partners is to strike a balance that allows for extensive modding while keeping the guidelines in mind, and to open the door for mods to reach as many players as possible while ensuring they work seamlessly across different platforms. While some NSFW mods and certain scripted heavy modifications may not be supported through the official pipeline, modding outside of our pipeline will still be an option. For cross-platform support, direct level editing and changes to core game elements like story, cinematics, dialogues, quests, and local gameplay adjustments can't be facilitated due to technical constraints and platform-specific guidelines. We'll be working with our partners to explore ways to expand modding possibilities within these constraints and provide clear guidelines to help everyone understand what is possible. All right, on to the next section. I want to do things your modding pipeline doesn't support. How will mod.io handle unsupported mods? Changes that won't be officially supported with our pipeline, like scripting changes or NSFW mods that wouldn't pass the moderation process due to specific platform restrictions, may still be packed locally with mod.io's toolset and uploaded to other mod distribution platforms. This means that those mods can still be downloaded manually, and the game's browser will still recognize them and allow you to manage them in the mod load order of the game. However, because they would be local and alter unsupported systems, there will not be embedded support for checking for updates and syncing to others in a multiplayer session. Additionally, we will not be able to provide full technical support in case of crashes. We understand and appreciate the hard work and dedication of the modding community and have no plans to limit modding to our official pipeline. We are committed to supporting the modding community as comprehensively as we can and can't wait to see what ideas you bring to life. Will Larian Studios provide any guidance for unsupported mods? We are currently seeing how far we can offer guidance for unsupported mods, which at present includes discussing whether we create official scripting API documentation and whether we introduce internal testing for the script extender and other tools to support compatibility between patches where possible. However, while we can guide, we cannot offer support for mods outside of our pipeline. Is there a long-term support plan for providing official modding support? Outside of critical fixing post-release, we do not currently have the technical capacity to provide long-term support while also lending our focus to future projects, so keep that in mind. So yeah, it seems like, from someone who doesn't really understand modding that well, it seems like you're not going to be able to like create like an alternate ending to the game or an entirely new quest line through the official mod toolkit, but Larian is still trying to offer some ways to still make this a thing that players can do without officially supporting it themselves. You know, like obviously the mod creators behind these types of mods are going to have to deal with crashes, and then when updates mess up their mod, etc., it's not going to be as convenient for them. But it seems like Larian still wants people to be doing that stuff, and they're going to try to make it as easy as possible in an unofficial way. Does that make sense? Regardless, I'm really excited for patch 7 in September, maybe a little bit later for console players and Mac players. But really excited to jump back in and have all these cool things. I feel like when I come back in, I might have to do like a Baldur's Gate 3 with guns run. That's just really interesting to me. If people can really create guns that fit into the 5th edition system, it's just going to be a blast. But thank you guys for watching. As always, I'll keep you guys updated on all Baldur's Gate 3 and Larian Studios and RPG news. Just you guys are in the right place. All right, peace.